Okay, Blue Jays, forget about soccer. We're going to talk about strictly baseball today. The Jays just won the ALDS. They're on to the ALCS for the first time since 2016. The city's on fire. Even DeRo is getting into baseball.
Oh, man. Can you believe it?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Dale, Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. I love that. That's classic.
So funny,
hey, this guy is unbelievable, man. He just keeps creating memorable moments.
Oh.
He's great for the fans. You know, you can see he's very personable, and man, kudos to the Jays.
Dude, it's good to have a superstar in Toronto who actually shows up when the big moments come. Like, he did not. I think he was hitting. I'm not going to claim to be much of a baseball guy, but he was hitting. I think it was like 650 or something for the whole series. It's insane.
No clue.
It's insanity.
The fact he hit a grand slam.
Well, that's enough.
And his dad did it.
Yeah,
that's pretty special.
That's enough for me.
That's amazing.
No, it's amazing. What a game that was.
Okay, Blue Jays, let's play ball. Let's go.
Yankees lose.
The Yankees lose.
Well, welcome back to the 5th episode of DeRo and the Diehard, hosted by myself, Botelho, and the legend, Dwayne Rosario. Plenty to talk about, even though it is an international break. Unfortunately, no club football. And I think to start off, last week we talked about one Inter Miami legend retiring, and then this week, Jordi Alba announces he's retiring at the end of the season. Let's give him some flowers. I mean, one of the most incredible left backs of a generation.
Yeah, for sure. But before we even touch Jordi, I want to talk about one of our own local heroes, Desiree Scott. Retiring for our women's.
Right.
Yeah, 180 plus appearances. The beast in the midfield for our women's team, 180 something, 88 or something like that appearances for Canada. Great career. For me, I always like to welcome our own first. And Desiree Scott, well done. Great career, and I wish you all the best outside of that. But Jordi Alba retires again, another legend. Great career. Looking at his stats, unbelievable. Played U19 Spain, U20 Spain, 21 Olympic, national team, men's team, UEFA champions, Euro champions, Champions League champion. The list goes on for this guy. What a player, you know.
Everything.
Best 11, a few years for Europe, for World Cup, man. What a player!
Amazing player, and
fantastic career.
You know, well, this is just a quick overview because we're going to get into international stuff.
And scored I think 2 or 3 goals last week, man.
He's
still
delivering. So to my point, what's happening with Inter Miami after this season? I mean, that's 2 staple players. Who's to say Luis Suarez won't follow suit?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I guess the relationship with his fellow teammate, fellow colleague, friend, Busquets, maybe that might have pushed him over. Maybe there's a package that we don't know about. That's
true.
That they're gonna be still involved with the club at some capacity.
Yeah.
But hats off, man. Like, I mean, what a career. He probably saw the writing on the wall in the sense of, you know what? He's probably reached that point where he's maybe not enjoying it as much. Mm-hmm. And as every player, including myself, has to swallow that difficult pill of retirement. Mm-hmm. And, he probably felt, now's the time that, let me step away from the game as well.
Legend of the game, but we got things to talk about today. There's a real question going around. There's a hum going around because last season it felt like guys like Mbappe, Haaland may have had off years, and others stole the show and the attention. Of course, Dembele, Lamine Yamal, and now we're circling back to the conversation, and we have to ask the question: is Erling Haaland the best striker on the planet? Now, in front of me, I see Harry Kane, I see Kylian Mbappe, both putting up incredible stats this year. But I look at Erling Haaland's sheer goal numbers. 94 goals and 104 appearances in the league. 50 goals and 49 appearances in the Champions League. He's got 37 goals in this calendar year. That's only 13 off of his record that he put up in 2023. These are incredible numbers from a player who is a dominant force. Now, I'm going to ask the former pro here. You see him? Do you see the best striker on the planet? Or is he a bit one-dimensional for you to give him that title?
Yeah, I would say, not taking anything away from Haaland. I think he's definitely a world-class striker. His numbers proved, as you mentioned, his ability to sniff out goals. The ball just falls to him in the box. Is he a player that's going to be dynamic and take players on? No, but he's always in the right place at the right time. Clinical finisher. But at the end of the day, right, a striker's job is to create and score goals. Full stop. And is he doing that? Numbers are speaking for themselves.
By the bushels,
I would definitely say he's up there in the conversation of the best striker on the planet. It can't be. It's undeniable to not have him in that conversation for sure.
Yeah.
He does have an amazing supporting cast around him.
Great team.
Right? But at the end of the day, you still have to put the ball in the back of the net. And he's doing that.
It's the hardest thing to do in the sport, at the end of the day. And you're right. And if his contract says I'm paying you to score and you're scoring, what more is there to ask for? The only comparison that I had was this season, at least, is Harry Kane. 10 matches, 18 goals, 3 assists, 11 of those goals and all of those assists coming in just 6 league matches. That's a striker for me.
Yeah.
And with England, it feels like there's a new young player, a new young talent coming up every 5 seconds. And for him at his age to be holding it that position down like that and not giving anybody a sniff of a starting opportunity, hats off to him. I think these two now.
Those numbers are unreal. Like 6 games, 11 goals, 3 assists.
What is he doing? Somebody test this guy.
And it's playing in a very difficult league.
Somebody test this guy now.
It's unbelievable. But again, he's a guy that he knows how to finish. You give him half of a chance or the slightest of an opportunity, he will bury it. And we see that. We see that with Mueller coming here and playing for Vancouver.
Totally.
And what he's doing, like the goals he's scoring, it's like just picking out those corners, half a chance where somewhere kick it wide or over the net or to the keeper. He's just putting it in the corners, right? World-class finishers. And what I really like about it is the key to this is striker. I love that. Not forward, but striker.
Striker.
These guys are strikers. They don't waste. Striker for me is a guy that doesn't waste time in front of the goal, buries any opportunity. For me, that's a striker.
And these guys are prototypical strikers, prototypical 9s. Big, tall, decisive, elite, clinical.
Yeah, but I tell you something, right? That stature is a lot of teams are getting away from that stature.
Yeah.
Where back in days that stature is more looked at maybe as a hold-up player, right? You bring the ball up to them, they hold up, they bring the 10 into the game, the 11, the 7 into the game. But these guys, they can hold up the ball and they can punish you. And man, what a career those two are having. And I know that Haaland is going to surpass those numbers that he did in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And what an exciting year of football we have ahead, and a big conversation, potential Ballon d'Or for next year.
Well, he was in the conversation a couple of years ago, and a certain someone named Lionel Messi won that.
Well, won the World Cup.
I know. I'm not.
that was the icing on the cake, right?
Exactly. So maybe he feels hard done by. Maybe he feels like I'm gonna take my award back or whatever it may be. Yeah. But let's move on. It's the international break. It's slow times for all football fans.
I know, right? But I want to say something. I want to say a shout out and a well wishes to Moise Bombito, and I hope he heals, because he's a big asset to our men's national team that is actually playing tomorrow against Australia in Montreal. So we wish them all the best. But, sad to see a player, really big fan of Bombito and what he provides to our national team. And what a player, man. Just what a defender, just, solid, reads the game really well. And, sad to see him go down and miss. Yeah, it's good news that it's not as bad as it's bad, right? But it's not as bad as everyone anticipated it to be.
It's not at a bad time either. I mean, like,
well, I think it is. It's it's never a good time, but
I would rather it happen now than
for sure
next year in March.
For sure,
for
sure,
a nightmare, because
for sure.
Him and Cornelius are
staples.
I think
the backbone.
I think they're unbelievable together. I think that in their progression, if they could go into the World Cup as potentially a top 10 center back duo in the world. And I truly believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see many other teams that have better center backs than that.
No, they play well off each other. They have a good understanding of each other, and wish him all the best and a speedy recovery for sure.
Well, since we're on the topic of Canada, right? Let's just go into that. So Canada ranked 26th right now in the world, which is the highest it's ever been. I honestly think it's criminally low for them, and I say that because 10 spots ahead of them are the U.S., who, if I refer to my notes here, the U.S. are 5-6-1 in their last 12 matches. Mm-hmm. They're not a good watch, and they lost to Canada in that span. Mm-hmm. So the 10 ranking discrepancy for me is a sin. It's wrong. It doesn't. It's not real world. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not sitting here telling you that Canada should be top 10. I'm not delusional, but our team, whether that's you go down the list of the lineup or the playing style, I think they're leaps and bounds ahead of the U.S. currently.
100%. To be 26 for me is it's an amazing accomplishment.
Of course, yeah.
But this is a dilemma, and this is a conversation we've always had as a national team player. Why we rank so high? Why we rank so high? We qualified to the Gold Cup, and I think we went to 30, 32 or something like that. And even at that point, it was still crazy. Like, we couldn't understand why. And I'm not sure how the rankings work, but you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I think we're in a position right now, we should be at par or ahead of the U.S.
I totally
Because
agree.
our head-to-head matches, we are in favor for them in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
We've beat them more times they beat us. Mexico, I believe the same against Mexico. I think we are in favor over Mexico over the last 2 years. Or maybe it's tied.
Might be tighter, yeah.
Maybe. But there's no way I think U.S., with all due respect, should be ahead of Canada right now.
No, and
there's no way.
I'm not saying that Canada should be 14 and U.S. should be 16.
I am.
Are you saying?
Well, hell yeah.
I'm saying that Canada should be 15 and U.S. should be 25.
Oh, well, whatever it is. Canada should be ahead. However you want to say it, 15, 14, 15, 25, 26. But we should definitely be ahead. I mean, 2 years of dominancy in CONCACAF.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no reason why we shouldn't be at par or ahead of US right now.
Yeah, and I think
in world ranking.
In every metric, I look at that team, our team, and I see Jesse Marsh right now, the way he utilizes each player in that team, his style that he implements onto the guys, and then therefore their style of play has been exponentially better than the States over the last 2 years, especially lately. The U.S. are a hard watch. I mean, you've seen them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who they hire. Pochettino, this guy, that guy. If you can't grip the team, and they have talent, they have a lot of they have a lot of talent.
No one's taking away the talent that they have, but a lot of teams have talents out there. A lot of countries have talents. It's putting it together and finding the right recipe for success with the talent that you have. And I don't think U.S. has really figured that out to our benefit, which I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Go into next year with a blindfold on.
So,
for all I care.
But you can't argue the fact of what Canada has been able to manufacture, to produce, and their results in the last 2 years, and of course most recently in Europe, undefeated, and to see the numbers, it's great because we've never seen these kind of world rankings before. Yeah, but it still doesn't do justice to what we've been accomplishing from since Qatar.
Yeah, I totally agree. Who's your I know you don't want to pick sides here, but who's your favorite player on that team right now? Player to watch on the Canadian team.
It's hard to say who I think is the one player that I really like. One player that really stands out to me is Jonathan David, is because always has control of his emotions. Mm-hmm. And as a striker, that's very important, especially around the goal. Nothing bothers him. Nothing agitates him. He's always has a cool head on his shoulders. He's always seemed like he has control of the situation. And he's being such a clinical piece for our national team. I know he's why he hasn't got awards up to now, at least in CONCACAF, is baffles me.
Yeah, totally.
His contribution to even, I would even put him, he has to be in the conversation for Ballon d'Or as well. with all due respect, because what the numbers he's put up,
That's a claim.
100%.
Yeah.
And we need to start seeing that, right?
Yeah.
The numbers that he's putting up for club and country speaks for itself.
Well, I was going to say that. So this summer, just evaluating the market, I did a written piece on him, comparing him to Gallagher's at Arsenal and Sesko's now at Madrid. Because at the time, they were all with their former clubs, and it was a strikers market. People needed to buy a striker this summer. And I was comparing their numbers, and sheer volume of goals. You can say Gallagher's had the he had the lead. He was playing in Portugal, slightly easier league than France, of course. Sesko even had a few more goals than him, but nobody had better hold-up or passing stats than Jonathan David, and it wasn't even close. So when I see David, I see a guy who can score with the best of them and pass better than the rest of them, truly. And I think that it's so important that we utilize him in the right way in 2026, because any success that Canada is going to have is reliant on Jonathan David scoring a goal.
100%.
Alphonso Davies bringing that play down the left. Like, we're heavily reliant on our stars to be stars.
The bottom line is Jonathan David is our go-to guy. If we want goals, he's our go-to guy. Not taking away anything from Davies getting up and down the wing, but he's not going to put the ball in the net every game.
He can't. He's got to do so many other things,
right?
So he has to...
You need, and why he's not on a billboard somewhere, and I can't see him in Toronto, still baffles me. Less than a year out of the World Cup. We need to get these guys seen locally, man. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, because
as a football guy, it's just...
Because if this was the Hockey World Cup, we'd see McDavid and Crosby all over the place over here. So I think, you're right. And maybe it will.
And he deserves it.
He deserves
it's not
it.
like it's not like we're just... we're just fabricating a player that we potential.
Yeah.
It's
here.
He's legit numbers. He has a solid career. He continues to put up numbers. Why he hasn't gotten picked up from one of the giants of world football? I mean, he's at Juventus. Yeah. So hey, what I mean?
Club,
yeah.
That's my club. They're a big club.
Yeah. But you know what? Again, for me, a great player to watch, a player that I really admire, very intelligent player, very smart, thinks the game, doesn't do any wasteful energy during the match. And players like that, I really admire. Players that think the game more than just use athleticism.
Hard to come by. And, throughout the process of development and the growth of the sport in this country, we have an amazing generation of talent.
Eustáquio's another one.
I was just going to say, Eustáquio for me is, again, one of the most important players in this team. Koné.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think, with all due respect, Koné, I don't think he's a Eustáquio, though.
You don't? I don't think he's not him yet. But he's a different position also. A little deeper.
Yeah, but very emotional.
Well, and you saw that outburst right at...
No. I'm not... Oh, you mean at the Canada game?
Not the Canada game. He had some trouble with his manager.
No, but I've seen it also in the Canada games.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so
if you get under his skin, right, he can be... Eustáquio is just consistent. Game after game after game.
Eustáquio is playing Champions League football, right? Like he's in a team and in a league 100%. Where it's important, and he's playing high level
tried
football.
and proven.
Exactly. And Koné, for me, honestly, Koné, the way he plays, he can be.
Yeah, but that's potential.
No, but I can see him playing at Real Madrid in 2 years. But
that's potential. I'm talking about guys who are doing it.
Yeah, sure.
Game in, game out. That's why I base my stuff on facts, not potential.
My counter argument is that I think we need Koné to actually play really well.
For sure. I'm not taking that away.
I think he's just as important to Canada's success as some of these other names. Maybe not Jonathan David, maybe not Alphonso Davies, but
not Eustáquio either.
But if he plays well, he could be just as important as Eustáquio in that midfield. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, again, potential, right? If you know what Eustáquio is going to bring,
100%,
right? And when you're a coach and you're evaluating these things, you got to go with right? You can't go with you don't got time in a World Cup to potential. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to do what you have to do. You have choices to make, you have decisions to make. Injuries, all these things you got to take into account. Who's ready? Who leading up to World Cup? Who's played a lot of minutes? Who's performing well? All these things that Jesse Marsh's got to manage. which I'm very confident that he's going to manage. He's proved that he can do it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not taking away anything away from Koné, right? We definitely he could be a major piece of the puzzle. He is a major piece of the puzzle currently, right? But his form will dictate that.
Yeah.
These next few months leading into the new year will dictate whether or not. And you can see Jesse Marsch has been supporting him, and he wants him to do well. He's seeing there's potential.
Sees the value. In Koné. And like, you're right. I think the discipline thing is an issue, and also the form, because I remember watching him, I want to say 6 or 7 months ago, and he was really good. Like, I looked at that guy as he was dictating the pace of the game. He was controlling the midfield. The sections where Eustáquio, if he comes back and he plays a little deeper, then you're losing that offensive threat that he brings naturally. And I thought that was a fantastic midfield one too. Mm-hmm. But when he goes down, when he has the attitude issues, and I saw that he had this crazy argument with his manager in France, and it was on film. Yeah. On the ground. I guess he didn't like the criticism he was receiving or whatever the situation was. And then those are red flags. I mean, he is a young guy, so
and the coach is right.
The coach is always right.
If you're playing no, I disagree with that. The coach isn't always right. But there's a way. Right. There's in a professional environment, and for all you young listeners out there, the coach is always right, 100%. You don't debate. You don't rebuttal any. Thing that the coach says in public. If you want to wait till after, you pull the coach aside. Coach can talk to you. It may not be when he's ready. Maybe he might be already in an emotional place. Maybe it might be a day after, 2 days after. But you do not have an argument on the field with the coach, especially when he's just telling you to play quicker. He's telling you to play quicker. It was right. Get the ball, move it. Get the ball, move it. That's how he wants the midfield to play. That's how you have to adapt. That's what is needed at that next level. Now, that response, I mean, everyone goes through his emotional thing. I don't know what Koné was going through at that time. Maybe something personal. Maybe just, maybe no one's never yelled at him like that before and he took it personal. True. Right, which I see maybe here. We don't really, in Canada, we don't hold accountability as much as they do over there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's also Roberto Desiree. So that's an Italian coach. Right. I mean, you think they don't...
No nonsense.
You think they yell in France. They're probably yelling, in Italy and they're yelling like crazy. But to your point, maybe the coach isn't always right in every circumstance, but in this one, where it's a younger guy and it's an attitude issue, it's got to be the coach every single time. You can't take the side of Koné in that situation. And you're right, he probably is going through things we have no idea what they're about. Yeah. And he's probably, and I would never, I'm not saying he should never get back into the team. It's an attitude thing. He made a mistake. Mm-hmm. So what?
And I don't mind a little attitude. No, I had an attitude playing.
Channel it in the right way.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else in Canada you want to talk about?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it's Canada, so I could always talk about Canada all day. Like, having Buchanan,
Schaffelberg's form, people are questioning his form a little bit. Are you comfortable with him there still?
Listen, the fact that we have players that we can discuss that are playing at a high level, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It makes me proud, to know that the next generation is taking it to another level, and our only hope is the other generation after them could take it to even a higher level, right? And have more players playing at big clubs. We even have our own local hero in Jonathan Osorio.
Talk about consistency. Right,
consistency. I know last couple of years he's I hate to say it, the age, having some injuries, but he still has so much to offer in terms of experience, in terms of his heart, his pulse, his passion, what the city means to him, what the country means to him. He's still a huge leader. He's shown that he can lead on the field, and he showed he can be respectful and lead off the field for a player that's coming into the match. A great player that if you need to insert into the game. Just like, a player like Eustáquio, when you're playing against some of these big clubs, you could run and gun for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But after a while, you have to show some poise. You have to have players on there that could kind of dictate the pace and the tempo of the game. You can't always play at 100 miles an hour.
Play differently. Right? Find different ways to play different situations.
Adapt to the situation. If we're up 1-0, we might have to see a 1-0 game out. Yeah. Then the day in a tournament, in a competition, not to mention the World Cup, we just need the result at the end of the day.
We need the win.
We need the win. And these players can see a win out. right? I'm very confident. If I see an Osorio sub on or I see Eustáquio playing late in the game, you know, these players know what to do. They know how to deflate the game. They know how to manage the tempo of the game that could see a win.
We have enough depth and we brought enough guys up where you can recognize those situations where we have the 1-0 lead. Maybe it's minute 65 in the World Cup group stage.
Yeah.
And you see Osorio coming on and you're like, I know exactly what the game plan is, and I feel comfortable in our ability to achieve that goal. And our squad, honestly, through and through, I love it more every single day.
Yeah.
Alistair Johnson, Tajon Buchanan.
You said Schalfenberg,
Yeah.
right? Just coming off a U.S. Open Cup champions, win a championship. Great picture, by the way. Nice little cigar in the mouth. If you come to town, you wanna go for a stogie, let me know. You know, I'm always one. Hey, when you win championships, you enjoy cigars, right? So great picture online with him smoking a fat one, by the way, a cigar. Pause.
Rewind.
Yeah, rewind. But this is what we need.
Yeah.
Like all of our players, the experience, they're winning, playing at a high level.
Yeah.
Man, it's infectious.
It's infectious.
You know, and that's why I keep telling kids in my academy, DeRo TFC Academy, and that's why I keep telling kids in camps and anytime I get the opportunity to speak in front of young kids across Canada is, yes, Messi's amazing. Ronaldo's amazing, undoubtedly. Greatest players of all time, up for debate. But the fact of the matter is, we have local heroes. We have local players winning championships, playing at the highest level. Let's focus on them. I want to be the next Schaffelberg. I want to be the next Jonathan Davies. I want to be the next Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David. I want to be the next Kyle Larin. I want to be the next Jonathan Osorio. These guys, we have to make our young players understand because it's more relatable. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you cannot be another Neymar. You cannot be another Messi. You can be another Dwayne Rosario. You could be another Jonathan Osorio, a Thibaut Hutchinson, Eustáquio. The list goes on. Because why? We know what it takes. We know what the environment is like growing up in Canada. We understand the culture that's growing up in Canada. I can tell you the pathway, the direct pathway, how to go pro. I can give you the blueprint to go pro. Messi can't. He can give you the blueprint coming from Argentina. Yeah. And if you're an unbelievable God's gift, blessed, and you're just, God's gift, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
but odds are you don't.
Yeah. And the reality is, but these guys can. Stalteri's can.
Yep.
Jason Benz can. Jimmy Brennan's can. Craig Forrest can.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
These guys can. Thibaut Hutchinson can. Julian de Guzman can.
Yes.
And the list goes on. I'll keep going on and on and on. But
the point remains.
The point remains that we need to highlight our local heroes. We need to make our young athletes want to be the next Osorios, want to be the next Jonathan Davids.
They have the chance to do that. And like as much as we need to step behind them and the media needs to get into that pathway of showing them the stars of today, they have the chance to go into this World Cup on home soil and show all these young kids that they're real and they're here to play and they're here to win. And like there's no bigger stage in the World Cup, and there's no bigger stage when the World Cup is at home.
Right. And I got a little hint for these for the big brands. You got to do like this crazy commercial that relates to the young kids growing up, and then you see like them going on the BMO as young professionals.
Yes.
You know, as they wearing the Canadian armband, putting their hands to chest, and it's like
an emotional,
like
journey.
Sentimental journey.
Yes.
You know, because that's how we're gonna turn these superstars, in my opinion. They're not just Canadian national team players; they're superstars.
Yeah.
Turn these superstars as household names that kids across Canada can have their posters on their walls, want to be their next, whoever it is, superstar on our national team, and make them very relatable, very personable, and make it very passionate and a story.
That's important. That is so, the relatable part is so important because there isn't a single superstar in this city until this last series with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. That is relatable. Like, you look around and you see billboards of, or I guess you used to see billboards of Marner and Matthews. You see still and Nylander. Those guys are not relatable. They do not. I don't.
Vince. I was gonna say, what's the name? LeBron James, and these athletes. How about our own local Steve Nash? How about Jamal McGlure and our own local heroes, Canadian heroes?
Point, we're putting up the Toronto guys, and I can't relate to their personality. I can't relate to their attitude. I can't relate to the way they play the game. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Nobody can because they don't have that Toronto identity. Our Canadian guys are so Canadian. Like when they play the game,
that's what I'm saying.
Canadian. Put them on the billboards, put them on the pedestal. Let us look up to them. It's not about making us. It's about letting us. If you give us the opportunity, the players who want to be pro, the players who want to get into the sport will do that. They will do that because I look at Jonathan David. I see a fantastic role model. I look at Davies. I look at Richie Larea. I look at Tejan Buchanan. Like you said, these are pathways you can follow and become pro, and these are role models that are worth looking up to.
100%.
To keep last point on the Canada topic, how important do you think Richie Larea and Tejan Buchanan are to this team, and how good of form do they have to be for us to be that next level?
Massive. Richie Larea, love his game. He's a disruptor. He's in your face.
Yeah.
He gets the team riled up. He's got to be able to control it a little bit, especially in the defending third. Right, it's when we're talking about World Cup, we're talking about teams that could punish you in set pieces, right? That's where but he gives an infectious, regal mentality, regal approach to the game that I really appreciate and I love. He's a FU player. He's in your face. He doesn't care if you're messy. He doesn't care who you are. He's like very proud, and that part I love. It's infectious. It's a player that you want on your team. It's a player that you want on your side. He's going to run through a wall for you. So 100%, we need him fit. We need him ready to go because he's going to bring the energy that we need, or that if it's lacking, he's the guy that you're going to look to, and he's going to do a tackle. He's going to do a play that's going to lift the team up. Yeah, and he can pull out a goal as well.
He could pull out a good goal as well. Yeah. And I like him a lot because if we're playing, and we're going to be playing a team from South Africa, a team from...
Oh, man, you got Davies flying up the left or the right. You got him coming up the left or the right. Fullbacks that are up and down.
If you line up against a South African team that's trying to take the piss out of you and hitting you hard and tackling you hard and doing the little mind games and the intangibles, Richie Larea ain't going to put up with that.
Oh, no. He's one of the players that if we're playing a guy like Messi, I hate to say it, but, if you're playing a guy like Messi, I'd be like, yo, kick the shit out of that guy. Get in his fucking face, kick the shit out of him. Yeah. You to get a yellow, you get red, I'll take it on the chin for you. But I want you to go be the disruptor.
And he'll do it.
Yeah, he will. 100% he will.
He'll sit there and he'll tell Jesse March, yes,
coach.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, coach.
Yeah, lick his chops and go after it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love players like that.
And then Tejan Buchanan, I think he's like immensely talented, but I think we need a little bit more consistency there. And
100%.
We can see it as well.
Well, don't forget, he's now, I would say, establishing himself more in Europe in that environment.
It's hard to go right away like that.
Yeah, it takes time. Some players go and they gel right away. He went to a very difficult environment, right, at Juve.
At Inter.
Inter, sorry, yes. At Inter, went to a very difficult environment at Inter. Massive, massive club. And sometimes, you think of these clubs like, oh, great, I'm at Inter. But is it really beneficial for your development? Are you going to get games, and navigating through that emotionally and then getting loaned out and all these things? It's tough to navigate.
It's incredibly hard. This is a team that made the Champions League final twice in the last 3 years. And you're going to that team. So you're trying to crack the starting 11 or crack a rotational role. I mean,
exactly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
And that's the mentality that they have, right? Especially with the Italian teams and the money that they're lacking. Let's go to the top 10 world rankings, and I'm going to read them out to you. And I have a real problem with some of these positions. From 10 to 1 is Italy, Croatia, Belgium, Netherlands, Brazil, Portugal, England, Argentina, France, and Spain. The first one is, why is Belgium 8th? What have Belgium done? Have Belgium even done anything in the last decade?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how these world rankings
they're always here
being displayed. I don't even know how Italy's 10th.
How is Italy 10th? I mean, I don't want to...
Brazil 6th.
Thank you.
With all due respect, and I'm a big Brazil fan.
Brazil.
Outside of Canada, Brazil is just, as a kid, I've always been Brazil fan. But with all due respect, world of talent? Are we looking at the roster and looking at names and saying who?
There's a point system.
There's 6 in South America.
That's what I was just gonna say. They're 5th.
How are they 6th in the world?
And they're 6th in the world. It makes no sense. And like I have
Argentina's first, and they just come off a World Cup win.
Yeah,
and they're not even. Portugal beat Spain in the Euros.
Germany is 12th. They're not amazing.
England 4th.
Okay, England 4th is the one that really got me. What is England?
A lot of these really get me. I'm
struggling to understand why England is ahead of Portugal.
Colombia 13.
Why Colombia is at 13. All due respect, you're right about Brazil. Brazil's 6th. They're 5th in their qualifying
Colombia's got to be ahead of Brazil.
Why is Belgium's in 8th? Why are they still in the top 10?
I have no idea.
I don't understand the Croatia love, although they do. They are first in their qualifying group, but like 9th, okay, I can live with that. Germany 12 seems low. They should be ahead of Italy. Why is France?
Germany's been struggling though.
They have been struggling, but
I'm disappointing in Germany. Have been struggling. I have never seen a German football go through such a difficult patch. Usually, okay, a year, last World Cup struggled.
Yeah.
But since then, it's just been bad, man.
They
like
have
Germany,
players,
they have world-class players. They don't just have good players. And they, the saying, the German brand.
Like we talked
You
about,
get that stamp of German car, it's going to be quality. German football, German anything, it's going to be quality. This last crop of German players, I don't know if what is missing. I don't know if it's the passion or the love for the country, which I'm not going to ever question because I'm in no position to question that, but I'm in a position to ask or to figure out why are they struggling. Yeah, we're asking questions.
We're just asking questions.
Because it baffles me to see Germany struggle so much.
It doesn't make sense.
It's not good for the world game.
No, and it looks
we
wrong.
need them in the top 10.
And honestly, you look at Italy. We talked about Italy at length over the last couple of
They
episodes.
didn't even make the World Cup.
They didn't make the World
How
Cup.
How are they 10th?
And they're 10th. But my point being is I see Italy and like, I expect them now to be 10 to 20.
No, I would expect them to be like 20.
But that's what I'm saying.
You don't make a World Cup. How are you even considered?
But they haven't even developed anybody. Germany's been developing talent, left, right, and center, and they're
but this is not about developing talent.
No, they're still on the world stage. They're still keeping relevant, but they're not getting results, and hence 100%. Why you find them at 12, which is
FIFA rankings is based off of your results in your games, right? What have you done for me lately? That's FIFA rankings, but it's more of like a traditional respect type of thing that we're seeing, or what I'm seeing, because Italy, you don't make a World Cup, with no disrespect to Italian fans or Italian Soccer Association, you have no right being in the top 10 if you don't make a World Cup.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
You
have to drop substantially. Like you should be behind Canada right now. Right? No. Honestly, I'm not even joking.
But what have they done to show otherwise? And you're right, they've done nothing.
Like Brazil has been struggling, right? England, okay, last World Cup,
England
too bad.
Can't be in the top 4 though.
But not the top 4,
they
bro.
They can't be in the top 4. They can't be ahead of Portugal. They can't. I can't see that because they're not a better team than Portugal. How are they 4th? And their qualification. Their process of qualifying with Tuchel has been like a 1-0 win over some nation that has a population of 2 million people.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Why are they ahead of, honestly, right now, current
Netherlands?
Form,
are you crazy?
Netherlands. They shouldn't be ahead of Netherlands.
Brazil shouldn't be ahead of Netherlands. I mean, no, Netherlands should be in the top 5.
Personally, for me, I think the top 3 are
Portugal, you just won the Euros. How are you 5?
They won the Nations League. They should be
Nations League, sorry.
They should be 4. But for real, the current form, they're scoring goals at will. They have how many players that were in the top 20 Ballon d'Or rankings are on that team? They're shored up everywhere. They should be top 4. For me, the top 3 are interchangeable. I wouldn't be mad either way if Spain was number 1,
fair enough.
if Argentina was number 1, or France was number 1. But to have England, beans on toast, ahead of Malasadas in Portugal, are you joking?
We say no seasoning.
No seasoning. What are we talking about? What is this? No, it's a stupid ranking because
that's offside, by the way. That's
sure.
offside.
I take it back. I don't like this ranking. I'm not too sure about what's happening here. But let's get into something. I have something fun for us to do here. Okay? Since 2002, there have been 6 World Cup winning teams. Since it's the international break, we're going to rank them from 6 to 1, worst to best.
Oh man, that's impossible.
It is possible. I gave the stats
That's
are here.
impossible. I know the stats is here, but you just brought in 2002 Brazil side.
Yes,
do you know how good that team was?
Do you know how good 2010 Spain was? Or 2014 Germany?
Right.
That's what we're having the conversation here.
I'm telling you something right now. Like, David Villa, Xavi, Alonso, Busquets, Iniesta, Pedro, Spain, Puyol, Piqué.
No, it's insane. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Gilberto Silva, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Ronaldo. Get out of here, bro.
I'll give you
R's.
I'm gonna give you I'll give you a little synopsis of each team. All right.
We'll have a look.
I'm just.
Of course, we'll have a
It's
look.
hard for me to see past 2002
But
Brazil
this is
team.
this is your ranking, right? Like, you can do whatever you
I
want
know,
at the
bro.
beginning.
This team.
We're gonna
is
see where we line up. All right.
Okay.
So 2022 Argentina. Right, they had a record of 4-1-2. Their road to the final was Australia, Netherlands, Croatia, France. Their top player was Messi, 7 goals, 3 assists. Next was up Julian Alvarez, who obviously had 4 goals, and they won the World Cup. Decent record. 2018 France, 6-0-1 record. Beat Argentina, Uruguay, Belgium, and Croatia en route to the final. That's a tough line. Mbappe, 19 years old, scored in the final. And him and Griezmann each had 4 goals, with Griezmann having 2 assists.
Is this team better than the France?
I'm not ranking them. I'm not ranking them yet. I'm just telling you the facts.
Zidane,
Hold on.
Henry.
But they didn't win. They didn't. That was 98.
98.
So we're only going to 2002.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because then you would have really put me.
Then
in
there
trouble.
that would have been chaos.
Like
that would have been
that,
chaos.
That's a discussion though. No, is that?
It's a huge. They're better than 98's better than this.
Oh my goodness! What a team!
No, that's unspoken for. Let's go to Germany 2014. This is the German football we were just talking about. 6-0-1 record, the one being a draw. Scored 18 goals, only conceded 4. Road to the final was Algeria, France, Brazil, Argentina. Jesus. Muller 5 goals, Muller 3 assists. I mean, the boy who's now in Vancouver.
Close.
2010 Spain, six wins, 1 loss. Beat Portugal, Paraguay, Germany, and the Netherlands in the final. David Villa scoring 5 goals, and then we have 06 Italy.
Wow, what a team!
5-0-2,
Cannavaro, Zambrato, Materazzi, Pirlo, Gattuso, Totti.
Yeah. Beating Australia, Ukraine, Germany, and France in the final. And then we have your boys 0-2 Brazil, 7-0 in all the World Cup, beating Belgium, Turkey, England, and Germany en route to the final. Ronaldo Nazario scored 8 goals. That's so stupid. 8 goals in the World Cup. Are you kidding? That's incredible.
Hey, coming off of
injury. Yeah.
And didn't even play a full year.
Well, the controversy around that is that they actually forced him to play because of the Nike thing. Did you ever hear about that?
Well, I'm glad they did. Thank you, Nike. Thank you, Nike. Because we got to see Ronaldo at the phenomenon at his prime, or else he probably wouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
And shout outs to the coach at this era that actually trusted and believed in Ronaldo to select him, even though he didn't have a full season because he was still coming off of injury.
Yeah.
And he trained pretty much just for get ready for the World Cup.
Is that because he had he had the first serious knee injury in 1998 or something like that? That was the second one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that was
the one
serious.
Inter. Yeah. That was. This is the one when he came back, and after this, it was pretty much, unfortunately, Madrid, Galacticos, and then kind of
he really did his knee in though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my ranking ready.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do you want to look over the papers?
No. Go ahead. I think I got my rankings.
At my 6, I have Argentina 2022.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the only team that had 4 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. They had, I think, 5 penalties throughout the whole thing. I mean, I look at their squad, and I have a notable strengths in Emiliano Martinez, Romero, and Otamendi at the center back position, the goaltender. I think that midfield of DePaul, Fernandez, and McAllister is tremendous. But I think comparatively to the other teams,
fair enough.
Player for player, playing style for playing style,
pound for pound,
I think they're like, again, and this may sound harsh, but we're lining them up against other World Cup winners. And for me, in my mind, this list is full of legendary teams. And whilst this is a legendary team, I think, They have world-class talent all over the place. The only problem is these other teams have more of it everywhere.
Fair enough.
So where would you rank them?
Go ahead.
Okay. My fifth team, oh God, I'm going to get so much hate for this. And I have it down as interchangeable. I had Italy. 2007.
Wow. No, bro. Che fai? Che cazzo?
And
Che cazzo? Fangulo.
Let me tell you why. All right. Now.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of hate.
I know.
You're going to get
No. Okay,
this is hard, though, man. This is hard.
I just want to be clear here. I have them interchangeable with 2018 France. Now, I look at Italy's team, okay? And I see Luca Toni, Totti, Pirlo, Gattuso, Camoranesi, Materazzi, Cannavaro, Zambrano, Buffon. That's a team. And their bench was Barzagli, Del Piero,
Inzaghi, Nesta,
Quinta. Now, the only thing I
De
have...
Rossi, Del Piero.
The only issue I have with this team is that, like every Italy team that wins every tournament, they're a team of moments. And they really caught lightning in a bottle here. You think about the Del Piero goal against Germany, the Pirlo pass, the Materazzi headbutt. Like, this is a team that thrived, lived and breathed off of moments. And they had an amazing defense, perhaps the best World Cup save in history with that Buffon on Zidane header. And then they had Marcello Lippi holding the helm. My only problem is that their road to the final was fairly soft with Ukraine and Australia. I mean, let's call a spade here. I know Shevchenko was on Ukraine.
They beat Germany.
But they beat Germany and France in the final, and I'll give them that. I have to, of course, and I have no problem doing so. 2018 France, Hugo Lloris, Pavard, Varane, Umtiti, Hernandez. They played a 4-4-2. How about this four for a middle four? Mbappe, Pogba, Kanté, Matuidi, and Griezmann and Giroud up front. Then they brought off the bench Tolisso, Kimpembe, Ousmane Dembele, just won a Ballon d'Or, by the way, if I need to remind you. All right. Thomas Lemar. They were 6-0-1, and what maybe edges them over Italy for me was beating Argentina, Uruguay, Belgium prime, and Croatia in the final. Scoring 4 goals twice, scoring 2 goals, winning 1-0. It's a stacked team. And I remember watching them and being like, nobody else is going to win anything for the next 6 years. Like
19-year-old Mbappe.
19-year-old Mbappe.
Griezmann at his prime.
For me, those two teams are interchangeable at 5 and 4. I'm sorry. Like, I am Italian and I don't take pride in saying it, but we got to call a spade here. Yeah. That's a legendary team.
Yeah, right across the board.
You know what I mean? And I had them as interchangeable.
Like you said, pound for pound.
The one team that I have staying at 3, without a shadow of a doubt, Germany 2014. Without a shadow of a doubt. 6-0-1 record again. We're talking about a starting lineup that has Philipp Lahm, Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, Howadies. They had Thomas Muller, Toni Kroos, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Mesut Ozil, Miroslav Klose. Off the bench, Andre Schürrle, Mertesacker, Götze, Khedira, Podolski, Draxler, Weidenfeller, and net. How about they scored 18 goals and only conceded 4 in the whole tournament?
But also beat France, beat Argentina,
beat Brazil. 7-1. They beat Brazil. That's the team.
In Brazil.
That's the team we're talking. In Brazil.
Spanking.
In Brazil. And Brazil was missing Neymar and Thiago Silva. Let's not forget that. I love my Brazil. I look at that team, and that is everybody's contributed. How about Andre Schürrle? If you remember, there was this like hype around him. He was the guy that came off the bench every game and scored. Now, their best player was obviously Thomas Muller, who won the MVP that year. Lionel Messi. Thomas Muller, 5 goals and 3 assists. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? This is what I'm talking about the bias towards Messi and Ronaldo. They get these decisions sometimes, and it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Now we get to the meat and potatoes of the list. You're worried I'm going to say the wrong thing
Dos
first?
and uno.
Now, I have these teams, Spain and Brazil, as interchangeable because, truthfully, in some capacity, they are. But unfortunately for
Style.
Spain, we're not talking about the Euros that preceded and came after the World Cup. We're talking about 2010 World Cup, and Spain is the second best team in this list. Brazil takes the top spot.
That's a factor, though. I mean, they won the Euros and won the World Cup.
It's a factor, but we're talking about the World Cup team. We're not talking about
let's. You can't just leave Spain. You gotta go through it. You gotta explain.
Spain starting 11. Oh. Blink if you don't blink because you're gonna miss a name. Casillas, Ramos, Piqué, Puyol, Capdevila, Busquets, Xavi, Alonso, Iniesta, David Villa, Pedro. Oh, you want more? On the bench, Fernando Torres. On the bench, Cesc Fabregas. On the bench, Javi Martinez. On the bench, Juan Mata. On the bench, David Silva. On the bench, Jesus Navas. That might be, player for player, the best team that's ever been assembled in the history of football.
Ouch.
They are interchangeable, but the fact remains that the phenomenon of Ronaldo
This is
Nazario
football
will always
heritage.
take you over the top. 2002 Brazil, in my opinion, and I think we share the same, they're the best World Cup winning team in the last 25 years. No debate for me. They were the only team that went 7-0. Their route to the final, Belgium, England, Turkey, and Germany. Ronaldo Nazario scored 8 goals. Rivaldo scored 5. Ronaldinho had 2 goals and 3 assists. How about this starting lineup? How about that front 3 in the diamond? How about we talk about Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Ronaldo?
The triple R.
Try stopping that.
You go on the field and you look up and you see
What a disaster.
young Ronaldinho,
What a disaster.
young Ronaldo, and young Rivaldo.
What are we talking about here?
Then you look to the left, which would be the right side. You see Cafu.
Oh, there he is.
You look to the other side. You see Roberto Carlos.
Oh, is that Gilberto Silva?
Oh my
in the mid? Is that
And
Cleverson?
Cleverson.
Wait, is that Lucio over there? Oh, check out the bench, DeRo.
Rogue
Cac
Jr.
is on the bench.
Rogue Jr. Oh my God.
Check out Cac on the bench. Not even getting a starting role.
Well, I'm glad you put them as one, so that helps the debate on my side.
Makes things
Because-
easier for the both of us.
No, it's just I'll tell you what. When you can't put into words what they did for footballers, for the game, for the magical moments, individually, collectively as a team, they made the world understand why Brazil has 5 stars.
Yep.
Why Brazil, that gold and that green.
Canary yellow and the green
yellow,
accents.
Yeah,
Oh.
they brought that back, man. Like that was
Yoga
what a
Bonito,
era.
man.
Joga
Bonito. Like that
What a
was,
team.
when I think of Brazil, I think of that. When I think of what I want Brazil to be and what I know Brazil as, even though I didn't get to see a lot of it because I was very young, I think of Brazil as that. That's the playing style. It's fun. It's Joga Bonita. It's just playing football the way it was meant to be played.
Yeah.
Fun, flair, skilled, effective. Let them have fun. Lethal. And like honestly,
most importantly, that's the key word, lethal.
but they just and you know, Germany has the same sort of quality where they just like put goals behind you, but it's like a job for them. These guys just have fun. They just they win and they just have fun. They beat you 3-0.
Ronaldinho, this free kick from the corner, chips the keeper, England.
Well, we're all done for today's episode, the international special. Don't forget, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, that the Jays are playing in the championship series. 5 or 7 more games.
The
until
Jays.
The World Series. The Jays. But thank you very much for listening to DeRo and the Diehard. As usual, we're back next Friday and every Friday after that with the best soccer content you can hear in Canada. DeRo?
Man, I'm loving it. It's great. It's great. Like I said, Desiree Scott, fantastic career. Moise Bombito, get healthy. Good luck to Canada. And let's go Canada. Let's go Jays. Let's go Blue Jays.
Over and out.